Hi, my name's Chris Benning and I'm the chair of the Management Committee of the Faith Workers Alliance. At last, a voice for faith workers. Faith workers are everywhere. We're embedded in local communities. On a daily basis, we're in schools and hospitals and homes and aged care facilities. We walk with people through times of difficulty and help people to explore the big questions of life. But until today, we haven't had a collective voice in Australia. The Faith Workers Alliance is small and new. We don't have an army of lawyers. We don't have a call centre. We don't even have stickers yet. But if you support the vision of a collective voice for faith workers in Australia, if you want to see a national interfaith union that helps faith workers to be healthy and energised in their work, then I invite you to become a foundation member. You can join at faithworkers.org.au. You may not be ready yet to join and start paying dues, but if you're a faith worker, then we encourage you to like our Facebook page so that you can keep up with developments. But you might be ready. This might be something that you've been waiting for a long time. Maybe you're one of those people who said over many years, we should really have a union. Well, now is your chance, and I invite you to join now. At last, a voice for faith workers.
Hi, I'm Rosemary Hudson-Miller. I'm the Treasurer of the Faith Workers Alliance, and I want to talk about the structure of our organisation. We are a national organisation and we have representatives from a range of different states: Queensland, New South Wales, Victoria, South Australia and Western Australia. We've set ourselves up to be the steering committee. Eventually, well, hopefully sooner rather than later, we'll come to electing a new committee that replaces the steering committee, but someone has to start it. We're also interfaith organisation. We've set up our constitution to reflect an ability to involve people from different faiths than the Christian faith. At the moment, we've got representation from Anglicans, Roman Catholics, Uniting Church and Churches of Christ, and we are growing this, talking across the faith communities to other people, encouraging them to also join. We want to come to the position of having local groups. So while we've got a national organisation, we know that it's local relationships that help support people in their ministries, and so we want to come to the organisational structure of having people in small groups in different states. We have different tiers of membership that we've set up in our constitution. So we've got fee structures for people who are in full-time ministry, in part-time ministry, and those who are retired who want to be help bring some kind of legacy to supporting faith workers. And this is a helpful breakdown, because we know lots of faith workers don't have an opportunity to work full-time. We know that these are continuing challenges, and we understand how that work is challenging to do in a part-time capacity.
My name is Peter Barney. I'm a church minister with the Churches of Christ movement, and I'm excited to be a part of the Faith Workers Alliance, a voice for faith workers in Australia. Together we have an opportunity to advocate for a healthy work environment, to provide each other with support and speak out as a collective on issues of justice and peace. The Faith Workers Alliance is a multi-faith union of workers, and we'll come together under a code of conduct that emphasises solidarity, confidentiality, respect and integrity. We recognise that it is our diversity that will be our strength. So I encourage you to go to our website and to spend a little bit of your time going through our code of conduct. I hope it will give you some insight into the type of community we hope to be. I also hope that it is a community you'll be keen to join.
My name is Brendan Byrne. I'm an ordained minister in the Uniting Church and the Victorian representative on the steering committee of the Faith Workers Alliance. I have the privilege of living in the country of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, and I pay my respects to their elders, past and present. The answer to the question, why would a faith worker join a union, is also the answer to the question, why would any worker join a union? In other words, faith workers are workers too. We might be lay or ordained, we might work in a parish or a faith-based organisation, and we may understand ourselves to be spiritual servants. But with all these identities, we also carry the identity of worker. And because we carry that identity, we also carry the needs, the vulnerabilities, the opportunities and possibilities that can be addressed by joining a union. Let's talk about the needs and vulnerabilities. Even with the best will in the world, sometimes things go wrong. Abusers, bullies, exploitative people exist within the church just as they do in every other kind of organisation. And much though we might want to think the best of others, if we're on our own, then we're vulnerable. Vulnerable to people who may not necessarily have our best interests at heart. Another vulnerability is information. We all like to think that we're well informed, that we're across all the rules and regulations and laws that govern our lives as faith workers. But that assumption can be our biggest Achilles heel. We might not know as much as we think we do, or the information we have at hand might be out of date. A lack of information and not having a source of information or the wrong kind of information can leave us hugely vulnerable. These are just two examples of how union membership can be of benefit to faith workers, because sometimes justice is a numbers game, and when you have access to people and information, this can be critical in tipping the scales of justice in your favour. And having access to a resource through which you can build your information pool or get reliable advice can save you from a whole world of trouble further down the track. But what about the possibilities and opportunities? If there's one thing I've learned about being a faith worker, it's that it can be lonely and isolating. Being a person of faith or working for a faith-based organisation tends to set you apart in the modern world anyway. But there is something about being a faith worker that, in my experience, is not unlike working in the trauma ward of a major hospital. People tend to come to you in moments of crisis, or you are often dealing with people who are already highly vulnerable. And even if you're not, you are often working in an environment in which these characteristics are present, and so you pick up on the dynamics and the tensions created by crisis and vulnerability. Whatever the case may be, the truths and realities of being a faith worker are often things which only other faith workers understand. Just as only a trauma nurse working in a hospital understands what it means to work in that field. And this is one of the opportunities and possibilities which the Faith Workers Alliance seeks to fulfill, putting you in touch and in community with other faith workers, people who know and understand what it means to do the work that you do. People with whom you can safely discuss the realities of your life as a faith worker, because they get it. The Faith Workers Alliance isn't going to solve everyone's problem all the time, No union can make that promise. But as an association of faith workers, we can provide you with the support, the information, and the community to help you understand that there are people at your side who have your back, and that as a faith worker, you are not alone. The Faith Workers Alliance, at last, a voice for faith workers like you.
Hi, I'm Archdeacon Tiffany Sparks. I'm a priest in the Anglican Church of Australia. One of the things that inspires me about the Faith Workers Alliance is the aspect of solidarity, that we are reminded of the importance of being together and supporting each other. I love the idea of joining a movement that actively draws on each other's strengths and giftedness, that reminds us of the importance that we are companions on this journey together. When the world gets hard, and it does, when life loses its balance, and that happens, solidarity is of the utmost importance. Solidarity makes a real difference to people's lives. Solidarity ensures that compassion continues to flow, that support is continually there, and that injustice is mitigated. Solidarity can change the entire situation, knowing that someone is there for you and that you are not alone. Standing in solidarity reminds us that we are more than the sum of our parts and that together we are stronger. Together we can create greater change, and that together we can continue to show each other support, compassion, dignity, and draw on each other's strengths. This is what I love about Faith Workers Alliance.